you the duty of wielding with dignity, impartiality, and courtesy, never forgetting that though you are temporarily the chief among your companions, you will emerge for a brief time from the ranks, and to the ranks you will soon return, hopefully. Congratulations. And put that out.
When you live before I depart and become your king, I have one further duty. And it starts with taking off that apron. I have the pleasure of, you'll join me down here. I have the pleasure of presenting you something that was entrusted to my care as the Grand Secretary, and for which I sadly had no other good purpose until this moment. He said, trying to move the slide, and trying to, well, let's see whether we can get this to go on. Bring it around. Certainly. Thank God for elastic. Now, when you lift this flap, it says, presented to Donald M. Miller by Druid Royal Arch Chapter number 28, Royal Arch Masons in 1987. Donald Miller was one of the finest Masons in the Lodge, Chapter, Council I have ever met. And he taught me how to be a secretary, how to be a Royal Arch Mason, and it gives me pleasure to see his apron on someone who's actively carrying out those duties. And this apron case is also part of the gift. It says Grand Lecturer. This does not make you the Grand Lecturer. But what it does do is it gives you possession of the apron case which Louis F. Bandel Jr. owned. This was his apron case. So I can give you two more treasured relics. And I give them to you in charge and ask that you see that they find a proper home when the time comes. Congratulations. And if I may, I will depart. Oh! And as my friend once said, and there's more. A companion foreman said, I don't have to use the clutch back on these things. I can just push in. But I won't. This one. I have the pleasure of presenting you a beautiful past high priest jewel. You didn't know I was going to see something that small? The past high priest jewel has the breastplate of the high priest on a three-sided symbol, and it has the keystone and the triple tau, which are significant symbols in our order. And please wear that with pride, and certainly the good wishes of this chapter. You know I will. And I'm off like a dirty shirt. Oops, I guess I don't want to. And this is why Blue Lodges have 3 chairs in the East, because they used to have chapters that met with them.
To get this apron from Donald Miller, you don't know what a thrill it is. I knew Donald Miller when he was my secretary of Jerusalem Council when I was thrice lustrous master. When he died, his daughter invited me to his house. She gave me a number of clothes. Some of them I still have and I wear. One such shirt I gave to another dear friend of mine whose name began with Donald. Donald Salento wore it every chance he got because I gained weight and it got too small for me. So I gave it to Donald. He didn't even have to put his name on it. It already said Don. Lou Vandell, it's funny to get his case. Lou Vandell originally signed me up to join York Right. Way back when we met over on Bradshaw Road. And what I remember most about that place, in the wintertime, you had to wear a coat. In the summertime, you could probably have gotten away with being naked and it'd still been hot. Because the air conditioner kept going out. But it's an honor to have this from those two gentlemen. And I thank all who supported me in this chair for another year. I told past Grand High Priest Jeff Dill that I would learn the degrees. It would take me probably 3 years. Hopefully I'll get another year, maybe not if I don't. And our treasurer wants to take another title. I'll be glad to offer him all the help I can, if he needs to do that. One thing I would like to have, I'd like to thank everybody that's come to this. I expected more. My son called me earlier. My granddaughter was still in bed. She's 23, and she must have worked very late last night to be still in bed. But he couldn't get her up, and he had a problem at work, so that was two that wouldn't be here. Bruce Colburn is my master of the second veil. He explained to me his wife had scheduled something on this day, and she rules over the high priest, which I totally agree. I want to remind everybody here, and I'd like to invite you, Randy, to the 21st of December when we have our meeting at Pappas'. I would like to have Chris Johansson meet me west of the altar. Several months ago, Chris was our guest speaker, and he gave a nice talk on how to make money, because that's his job. He's our money man for the chapter, and he has really, really done a great job with our funds. So I present this to you.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
congratulations for that.
Thank you so
And I
much.
thank you for what you did, and I thank you for sticking by like you have.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure the entire time. I feel lucky to be able to do it. Lou Vandell asked me out to lunch for some advice and with the chapter funds, and he said, I really like what you had to say. Here, would you sign this? Of course, that was my petition. And I've been here ever since. So Lou was a good friend, and because of him, I've come here and made many more. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lou.
Even though you have met the people that are here, I will still do an introduction. To my right is the TIM of Jerusalem Council, William Wickham, in the second row, and I thank you for coming. In the front row, in the first seat, is my sister, Barbara Hoover, and I thank you for coming. Next to her is my wife. We have two things to celebrate next month, her and I. On the 4th is her birthday.
Oh, that's sweet.
On the 8th is our 59th wedding anniversary.
Sure.
And that's a long time for her to put up with me. To her right is my neighbor from across the street, Courtney Murphy. If anybody here has a boat, she does repairs on boats. She's a retired Navy veteran, and she's a workaholic. But she's a very lovely lady, and she's helped me considerably. And all the work she does at her house, she does herself. So I thank you for coming. And then I have my,
Can we greet your ladies?
and I have my captain of the host. I thank you for doing another year with me. And that's Robert Lumber. And I thank Bill Miller from Phoenix chapter. I don't know whether you're the high priest of that still or somebody else took over.
Till next Wednesday.
Okay.